All right, y'all. So I am outside. The last 2 weeks I was in Texas. Now I am back in San Diego and it is windy and it is not as hot as it was in Texas. And I'm kind of mad because I love the heat. Anything less than 65 degrees is cold to me. So I wanted to be outside because I love outdoors, but now I'm rethinking it. So this is going to be kind of quick. But anywho, today's for Life Coach PSA. I just want to talk about the game of life and how to play it. So back in, I guess, 2013, when I graduated from the University of Southern Mississippi, I moved to Georgia to live with my sister. And during that time, we went on a spiritual journey. And we not only were we baptized, we went to the church, but we were also reading books on self-help and healing past trauma, because we had like kind of a tough upbringing, a lot of like emotional, mental trauma from growing up, divorced parents and issues that come along with that. And so when I moved to Georgia, my sister gave me this book that talked about law of attraction and manifestation. And one of the things that stood out to me was how it kept telling me, like, if you want to learn the laws of attraction, if you want to learn manifestation, the laws of the universe, read your scriptures, because that will tell you. And it is so true. And a lot of times people go around in their life thinking life is a struggle, life is difficult, think like this happens to me, like nothing can go right, I'm hopeless, I can't deal, when in actuality the things that are happening in your lives are a reflection of your internal, your subconscious, and everything on the inside. And so once that shift changes, then everything goes, the sun lights up. I guess that's a good way of saying it. So I know oftentimes we may be going through hardships. So here is a telltale sign. You may be going through discontent. You may in your head think like, man, I want a breakthrough. I'm going to just go with a job. Like, man, I want this new job. And it's something that's like really in your heart and something that you've been trying to get to, but for some odd reason it keeps getting stuck. So usually when that happens, subconsciously there is something in your mind that is holding you back. And once you work through it, and oftentimes this is where anxiety sets in, because life will give you obstacles, life will give you situations to challenge your subconscious or even your conscious thoughts about why you feel like you can't have it, why you feel like it's not possible. And usually that breakthrough happens once you change your mind and you fight that negative thought. And this is why it is so important to understand your mental side, your spiritual side, and your physical side. Because one, if you're eating bad foods, if you're always smoking or drinking, you're not operating from your normal self. So your interpretation of things will be shifted. And when you're able to think clearly, you're able to be like, oh, wait, you can look around and decide what you want and what is working, what is not working. So once you figure out what is not working, you can make that change. But sometimes things happen, like roadblocks, setbacks, that will shake you up and shift you and make you feel like this is not possible. And usually that feeling or something, either you will think this is not possible, or it's like, this is possible, this obstacle is just standing in my way. So for this Life Coach PSA, I just want to say that life is not a struggle. Life is a game, and you need to learn how to play it. And if you need help learning how to play that game of life, that is essentially what I do. And a lot of things that can be distractions, a lot of things like stress, anxiety, those are people who suffer from depression or anxiety. Sorry if the camera's shaking, the wind is making me shiver a little bit. But this is why I think people suffer from anxiety or depression, is because, one, people with anxiety, I feel like a lot of people with anxiety are coming up against a lot of mental blocks. And so things are happening in their life are challenging those thoughts, and they don't know how to accept it. And so they get anxious. Now, for people who suffer from depression, they may have this idea of what they want life to be, but they keep getting negative responses. And so that comes with hopelessness, that comes with despair, not understanding why things happen that are contradictory to what you expect or what you want from life. That causes depression from a spiritual standpoint. And so one thing that you have to do is accept those feelings, because those feelings are trying to teach you something. And until you learn, like, okay, so what is this certain situation, especially when it comes to anxiety, because I go through anxiety a lot, and when I get anxiety, I take anxiety as my little power source, because when anxiety hits, it's like, okay, what the F do I have to heal today? What do I have to heal? Because, like, at this point in my life and dealing with anxiety, a lot of things that I had anxiety about, I don't have anymore. Like, I've overcome a lot of things with anxiety, but usually when anxiety comes, it hits me now, it's 9 times out of 10 coming from something that I have not healed already in the past. And so if you've gone through a difficult upbringing, if you had like a lot of bad relationships, if you dealt with a lot of trauma, then you will have a lot of anxiety. And that's just stuff you need to shift out. And that's your spiritual self saying, hey, I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to give you that life that you want. I'm trying to give you that freedom, that empowerment, that joy, that relationship, that business. But you can't get it, or you can get it, but you can't keep it unless you fix this mindset, or unless you fix this issue. And so usually your anxiety or depression, it takes action. And a lot of times people just think like, oh, well, let me just get a pill, or, oh, let me just do something to distract myself. You're distracting yourself from your breakthroughs. So I'm gonna keep it short because it's cold out here. But if you need help with anxiety or depression, go to thestewproject.com. Go to thestewproject.com, and there are a ton of blogs and freebies and quizzes that will help you get a better understanding of it from a mental, physical perspective. And if you need help, then just let me know, because you can get whatever you want out of life if you just get out of your way. That's the only thing holding you back. So I hope this helps. Happy Tuesday.